Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to part 3 of today's reading. So in the last part I read to you a sample of one of the letters that was sent to Imam Hussain from someone in Kufa who was letting him know that they would support him and stand and fight with him in solidarity against the oppressive rule and calling him for revolution. The social underpinnings of this call are evident. The policies of terror and starvation were the reasons for their call to revolution. Imam Hussain was the only person qualified to lead such a revolution. No other Muslim leader was able to respond to the pains, hopes, and ambitions of the nation. Among those who called for revolution were a select few who were steadfast in their promises to support Imam Hussain until the last minute. They crowned their revolutionary movement with their souls when they fell in the battlefield. If we studied their history, we would find that they carried the same spirit and philosophy as a justification for their revolution: social oppression, policies of terror, and the humiliation that the Umayyad state had imposed. We see Zuhair ibn al-Qayn ride towards the enemy camp and say the following: "People of Kufa, I warn you of the hellfire, so be warned. It is an obligation for a Muslim to advise his Muslim brothers. Until now, we remain brothers of one religion and one creed, so long as our swords do not get in the way. You are due to listen to our advice. But if swords collide, there will no longer be such relationship. We will be one nation and you another. Allah has tested both of us with the progeny of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So let us see how each of us will fare. We call you to support them and turn your backs to the tyrant Ubaidillah ibn Ziyad. You have not seen from them anything but their cruelty. They will continue to gorge your eyes, sever your limbs, maim your bodies, crucify you, and kill the most noble amongst you and the reciters of the Holy Quran, as they have done with Hajr ibn Adi and his company, Hani bin Urwa and the like." Their reply was to curse him and to praise Ibn Ziyad. They said, "By Allah, we will not move until we kill your companion and all who are with him, or that we send him and his companions to the commander Ubaidillah after they fulfill our conditions for peace." Okay, now we're in part 3 of the book. Alright. Next chapter is called Hussein's Mission. Bismillah. We studied in the previous chapters of this book the social and psychological underpinnings of Imam Hussein's revolution, as well as the causes and grievances that led toward this outcome. In that rendering, we walked with Imam Hussain and his family and companions in many of the stages of their revolutionary mission. Now we wish to discuss the effects of the revolution. Was this revolution able to change society? Was it a victorious revolution? Was it able to defeat its enemies? These are questions that arise in the minds of everyone who reads or hears about this revolution. The answers must be derived from understanding the historical text surrounding the event. What was recorded of its consequences? Was the revolution a success or a failure? Did it leave anything but tragic memories and the tales of heroes? Some say that the revolution was a complete failure. They say that it was not able to achieve any immediate political victory. It could not better life in the Muslim nation before it was brutally crushed. Muslims remain after the revolution as they were before, a herd driven by the governing authorities. The shepherd's tools were terror and starvation. The enemies of this revolution only grew in power after it was crushed. As for the revolutionaries, they were consumed by the flames of revolutions. They were the victims of the Umayyad state's brutal reaction. Their children were victimized after their death for hundreds of years. From all these facts, some have concluded that the revolution was a failure on the social level as well. But the astute historian knows that reality is much different from this superficial portrayal. In order to understand Imam Hussein's revolution, we must search outside immediate goals and consequences. Seizing political power was never a goal of the revolution. The texts recorded in books of history tell us that Imam Hussain alayhi salam knew that this revolution would end in a bloody tragedy. Imam Hussain told Ibn al-Zubayr, who had asked him to revolt in Mecca, "By Allah, if I were to hide in any den on this earth, they would find me and fulfill their goal by killing me." Imam Hussain would also say, "By Allah, they will not have me until they take my heart from inside me. If they do so, Allah will send upon them men who will humiliate them. His close advisors were adamant that he will not be able to achieve an immediate victory. Power and wealth were united against him. How could he prevail? They hurried to him with the advice that he should stay in Mecca or go to anywhere other than Iraq. Amongst those advisors were Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Omar, Abdullah ibn Ja'far, and Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiya. Abdullah ibn Abbas, a cousin and companion of the Prophet ﷺ, was a well-known scholar of Islamic traditions. The caliphs of the Abbasid dynasty traced their lineage back to Abbas, the Prophet's uncle, and specifically to Abdullah ibn Abbas. Abdullah ibn Omar ibn al-Khattab was the son of the second rightly guided caliph. Abdullah ibn Ja'far ibn Abi Talib was the nephew of Imam Ali alayhi salam. He was married to Zainab, the daughter of Ali, Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. Two of his sons were in the camp of Imam Hussain in Karbala and died along his side. Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiya was Muhammad, the son of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the half-brother of Imam Hussain, Imam alayhi salam. His mother is Khawla bint Ja'far ibn Qais, and she was known as al-Hanafiya in reference to her tribe. Imam Hussain alayhi salam rejected all this advice. He said to Abdurrahman ibn Harth, "May Allah reward you with the best of rewards, cousin. I have, by Allah, known that you came to me as a counselor and spoken with prudence. Whatever Allah judges will be, whether I took your advice or not. Surely you are to me as an appreciated advisor and a most judicious counselor." He said to Abdullah ibn Abbas, "Cousin, by Allah, I know you are a well-meaning advisor, but I have determined and resolved to set course to Iraq." On another occasion, Imam Hussain said, "I would rather be killed anywhere else than see the sanctity of Mecca be desecrated by my murder there." When Abdullah ibn Omar advised him to make peace with Yazid, Imam Hussain replied, "Did you not know that the world is so worthless in the eyes of Allah, such that the head of John the Baptist was presented to a harlot of the Israelites? Beware of Allah and do not waver in your support."